This is my member, Amanda. She just hit $2,000 in monthly recurring revenue. To celebrate that, she wrote an incredibly valuable post inside of Grow with Evelyn where she shares her 8 insights that helped her to get to this point. If you're new to Skool or if you've been struggling to grow, I believe you should hear these insights, which is why I'm breaking them down and comment on them in this video. Big shout out to Amanda. If you're a spiritual entrepreneur, definitely check out her work. And now without further ado, let's jump right in. So here you can see her post where she shared that she hit $2,000 in monthly recurring revenue, also with the proof. And it's for the first time ever with 289 members and 99% of retention because of this community. The second I added the artifact teaching, she went all in. Her background is that she had a freemium community for the longest time where she had the free on the front end and then she sold into a high ticket. It worked at first and helped her to understand her audience and create things that are actually valuable. But after a couple of years moving to Croatia and starting to learn ads, she wanted to switch to a low ticket membership. So she also wanted to do this before, but she didn't really have a structure and the resources at that time to actually get people the results without her lifetime. And because of the artifacts, she now has that. So now her tiers are $8 standard, 88 premium, 404 VIP. I want to add that this is for the annual. 8 is a month, 88 is a month, VIP is for the annual. She's still experimenting with that. Now, to her first insight, cookies are everything. If you've watched any of my recent videos, you already know what she's talking about when she mentions a cookie. I always describe your community as the town, the classrooms that are inside as the bakeries, and the resources inside the classrooms as the cookies. My town is Grow with Evelyn. Inside of Grow with Evelyn is the traffic challenge. On day 3, you learn about meta ads and you get the ad template for your validation ad. This is a cookie, the ad templates, and that's what we want to advertise on the front end. Just like Amanda says, cookies are everything. I built an AI marketing treasure chest, a classroom with 35 done-for-you AI artifacts plus skills for spiritual entrepreneurs. And it's now driving most of my profitable ads. My auto DM asks new members what made them join, and they all say the treasure chest. Nobody actually wants the community first. You give them the thing they want, and then the value reveals itself once they're inside. And this is 100% true. My best ads for Grow with Evelyn, which I revealed in another video for you, so we're gonna share my winning Skool ads video somewhere here. They are mostly about things that are inside the community and not about the community itself. So you need to understand that your community just needs to be somewhat directionally correct, which is what you can find out with a validation ad, but your ads to your community actually don't even have to be profitable, because what's really going to be profitable is the ads to the things inside of your community. And that's a big mental switch. Most people keep over engineering the community and trying to fix something that's not solvable, because a community retainer often just is not attractive enough for a low ticket to click with cold traffic. But the small solutions you can create inside your community can be. And that is the big opportunity for creators right now. Instead of keep overhauling the community and another course and another angle, create small things like I have the templates for with the workbooks, the cheat sheets around problems that your audience needs solutions for, and advertise those. It works a lot better to advertise those really attractive things inside of your community than the community itself. And you want to build things that you can validate or discharge quickly. Right? So you cannot be attached to things. Small solutions, quickly advertised. That's ultimately what you want to go for. I recently did this in the community where I showed one member was asking for a template. I created it and then launched the ad for it. And the whole video where I showed that was just 8 minutes long. When you have your community somewhat decently set up and you create resources for your members, every single one of these resources can be turned into an ad that works for you on the front end. And this is the thinking that you need to adapt if you want. Thank you, your community with ads. Her second point, paid is better than freemium for her. Okay, so let's quote what she wrote. Ran ads for months, getting tons of free signups, and almost no one was upgrading. Switched to a fully paid model, and the numbers finally started to make sense. So I want to say what's going on here, because to me it's very, very clear, because I know what's going on the meta side. When you have zero audience and you still need to get in tune with what people actually want, you should start with a freemium community just to have that opportunity to charge if you should get someone who is willing to pay, but mostly you want it for having that audience seat, that community seat, to be with people and help people to understand what problems you need to solve, right? Because the cookies need to be solutions for problems. And if it's only you in your head, you will not see what problems exist out there. So you do need a community, but it's only for market research. As long as you have freemium community, do not expect it to be profitable because you are still in market research phase. Once you get an idea for the offers, the classrooms and the cookies, the bakeries and the cookies, right? The classrooms and the resources that people want, then you can start to advertise those, and you want to make that switch to paid sooner rather than later. I did a free video about this, how to go paid. You want to watch this to understand it. You can go paid sooner rather than later, and you want to do this. And here is the background on meta ads, why this will basically be true for everyone. When you set up your ad to your school community on Meta, you always select a sales campaign. If you have a free or freemium community, your optimization event in that sales campaign is complete registration. When you have a subscription or a tiers or a paid community, your optimization event is purchase. And Meta knows based on that setting who it needs to show the ad to. If you have complete registration, it will show it mostly to people that are willing to sign up for something for free. If you're optimizing it for purchase, it will mostly show it to people that are most likely to buy something. And that makes a huge difference. You have the very same community, but you do get a different quality of traffic. And that can literally be the difference between sporadic sale here and there 2 to 3 times a month and daily sales coming in. So switch from free to paid sooner rather than later, as soon as you have enough audience insights to know which bakeries and cookies, classrooms and solutions in there you need to create. And then go with the one that's the lowest lift to do, the smallest possible, still attractive thing you can do, and not the mega course that will take you another couple of weeks to at least get it built up. Think as in, what's the smallest, most attractive thing I can do right now to try and see if that is enough to get another paid member in. Third one, don't mess with your data. Here's what Amanda wrote. I had every image gen plus selected media setting turned on when I first started ads because more CTR is good, right? Then I had no idea what to scale because everything was muddied. Shout out to Rafi for really breaking it down for me. It's funny, what he says makes total sense in retrospect, but at that time I just wanted more CTR, more click-through rate. And I have a campaign generating sales at $15 cost per purchase and individual ads coming in at $4, right? So working really, really good. What she's speaking to here is when you set up meta ads, and maybe let me just get you into the account so you can see this. So here is what I talked about when it comes to the optimization event. You always select a sales campaign, but when your school is free or freemium, you optimize for complete registration, and when it's subscription, tiers, or paid, you optimize for purchase, and that is what gets you the different quality in traffic. Now, what Amanda is talking about here is using AI variations and other related media for your ads. Now, I actually do this, which is why I also wanted to comment on this. So in here, I do have related media on, and I also have, in some of those at least, AI variations of these on. And the reason is because I know that this is proven copy that I ran separately before. And I also know that the lifestyle images, so just images of me, are ads that are proven to convert for me. So when you know what works and you want to scale and you want to manage your ad account efficiently, thank you, because you eventually will have a limit on the amount of ads you can put in your account. These are absolutely incredible tools. But in the beginning, when you're validating and you're trying to figure out what's working, leveraging all of these scaling tools in Meta can actually set you back because you don't know what's actually working. And so it's a really valid point, but I just want to put the caveat on it that these tools are incredibly valuable for the right stage of your scaling journey with the ads. All right, number 4, about page alignment. Amanda said, I ran ads for a while to a specific artifact in the treasure chest only to get a ton of clicks and minimal conversion. Turns out I didn't specifically list those artifacts on the About page. Rookie mistake for sure. If I think about my own perspective, if I clicked an ad to something specific, but I wasn't sure if it was inside, I'd probably click off. As Evelyn says, your members and ideal clients are only one click away from going down a completely different rabbit hole. I now ensure that every ad that mentions a specific artifact is also mentioned on the About page. Really, really important, your ad to About page congruency. And when you look here to Grow with Evelyn, you see that it also lists the key things that I am running ads for inside of my community, right? So get access to the training you need, and it highlights the cookies and bakeries from my ads that are most popular. So absolutely good point. Your ads and your About page need to be congruent, otherwise you're losing people. 5. About page video. Amanda said, I didn't have a proper About page video since I switched from freemium to paid. I just kept putting it off because I've made it so many times, or I made so many of these. But I followed Evelyn's About page Loom guide to make it last week. It took about 30 minutes to do the whole thing, and conversions definitely improved. So really, really big one. Also, your About page video will very often be one of your best creatives. So if you don't have an About page video yet, or you need to overhaul it, we have it here. School About page video tutorial plus templates. Go do it. Will be one of your best ads, very likely. Usually will improve your conversion rate. Okay. 6. Reels are wildly underrated. Amanda says, I film an organic reel and download the video to add to a sales campaign, which I also added into a traffic campaign to grow my audience, the way Evelyn teaches it in the audience growing and money move. Thus far, my reels have been one of my top performing ads. My top performing ad this week is reel pulling in $4.37 cost per purchase. Absolutely insane cost per purchase, right? So this is absolutely what we want to see. And this is also the reason, guys, why I even commit to making organic content. I just make the organic content to be able to use it as ads. So here you see it lives as an organic content, but I will pull it into my ads manager, and these work really well in target cost campaigns. So if we're now looking at this month, you will recognize that this reel is in here, one of the best performing ads. So we always want to do that. We want to keep producing organic content because it will be some of our top performing ads. I'm really glad she shouted that out. 7. Artifacts will unlock different income. Amanda says, one person converted straight to VIP at 444 from a single artifact, built exactly the way Evelyn teaches, with a bigger banner at the top directing them to the community. My free artifacts focus mostly on the what and why. They still cover some of the how-to, as I want them to be super valuable on their own. Just build the trust, and then the artifact makes it easier for them to join and find your community. My top campaigns are sitting around $15 to $18 cost per trial. The more mental load you take off from someone, the more dollar it's worth. They just have to trust you enough to do so. If you're on the fence about making your first artifact, do so. You'll be amazed with the possibilities. So I really love that she shouted this out, because I'm so incredibly bullish on artifacts because of that as well. You just saw that, I'm doing the organic content, and every organic content also links to an artifact. So for example, this one here that I did recently about the artifacts, where I linked through to an artifact, this within the first day brought 5 new members into Grow with Evelyn. And so every artifact that I make, I ask people to comment, and then I send them over an artifact that links through to my community. And it's so trust building, and it's still something that very, very few people do. And it's very quick for you to create. So they're just this next generation of digital product. They make your information super consumable for people, and they're perfect bridges into your community. Use it in your organic content, use it under your YouTube videos, advertise it as a freebie, turn it into a paid product, and offer the option offer. Artifacts are really a next level opportunity for community builders right now. Please use them. 8, restructure your community around what's most marketable on the front end. Amanda said here, I restructured my community around what's most marketable on the front end, not necessarily what I think is most valuable, but what's easiest to communicate the value of. Phew, such an important one, and she said it so well, right? So it's not what is the value. I believe that there's things more valuable in Grow with Evelyn than what people are most excited about, right? But we always want to create the things people are most excited about. So she says, now my standard is 6 standalone, super valuable classrooms, premium unlock live weekly calls, plus 4 to 5 classrooms in the VIP. I think I was giving way too much in standard because I was overwhelming people. They weren't sure where to start, and I simplified it. It's also a really, really core learning. As you keep creating more resources inside of your community to bring more people in, and you'll also increase the retention and people taking action from that, your community fills up more. And as your community fills up more, it actually becomes less valuable, more than more valuable because of that overwhelm. So what you want to do is, with the community scope increase, you can increase the price, right? And you can start to exclude things out into VIP, into the premium tier. And you can even start to run it as ads where it's like, I'm reducing some of the amount in my community just to avoid overwhelm. But if you really wanted X, Y, Z, please join before this date, because everybody who joins before this date still gets it. And then your existing members, they can still download it. New people can join, and then you can close it out. And a while later, you can give it again as a limited time bonus. Then you can take it away again. So starting to play with creating more valuable things, but taking them away and bringing them back and taking them away and bringing them back will help you to manage overwhelm, but also help you to always have a promotion at hand. So this is really, really a good last point to highlight. So overall, I think these are really big mindset shifts. They're very practical things. If you want to grow your community, especially if you want to do it from paid traffic, which ultimately, is the long-term most sustainable ones. I did have a almost 4-hour live Q&A today, and then I had a client call. Now I'm recording this video. I did not have any time for my marketing. Still had 28 signups already today, right? It is because I have the ads set up, and I can quote unquote get so much done because I have the ads that are always running for me. And now I'm actually off for the day, and I will spend the rest of the day with my husband and my son. So if you want to get into ads, you need to shift your thinking. The things you can unlock when you do, I believe, are super awesome, because it will really give you also the type of lifestyle I think a lot of us like, and which is also the reason why a lot of us don't choose the high ticket but choose the low ticket way. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you in another one.